Good morning, everyone. This is Prabhakar, CytoSolve. Welcome to the seventh CytoSolve Symposium. Today, we'll be talking about relaxation, or the flip side of that, stress. And we'll go through the detailed CytoSolve systems biology analysis of that. We'll start in another 9 minutes or so. We're still joining in. Thank you for coming today. Welcome, everyone. We should be starting in another 5 minutes or so. We're still joining us. Morning, everyone. We should be starting in a few minutes. We're still getting a lot of people joining in. All right. Good morning, everyone. Again, this is Prabhakar from CytoSolve. This is the seventh CytoSolve Symposium, and we should be beginning shortly with the systems video while people are still joining. Welcome.
Welcome to VA-SHIVA. VA-SHIVA is a product of my journey across East and West, science and tradition, ancient and modern, that brings you the science of systems so you can become a force for truth, freedom, health. VA-SHIVA is a platform of revolutionary education, community building, and weaponry for unleashing local activism. My journey to VA-SHIVA begins in the chaos of Bombay, where I experienced diverse religions, languages, castes, and in a small village that had no running water, no electricity, where my grandmother, a poor village farmer, practiced Siddha, an ancient system of Indian medicine over 10,000 years old. She observed one's face, the art of Samudrika Lakshanam, to understand a body's unique constitution, allowing her to deliver the right medicine for the right person at the right time. Watching my grandmother heal others, I was inspired to study medicine, but I was also aware of the corrupt caste system of India, which denigrated a human being, where my family were considered low caste untouchables, where one's birth determined one's destiny. The grit and determination of my mother and father led them to get educated and to come to America, a 1 in a trillion event. Their actions inspired me to work hard and excel. While in 9th grade, I attended New York University in a computer science program, and subsequently, at the age of 14, was given a full-time job as a research fellow at what is now known as Rutgers Medical School in the heart of Newark, New Jersey. There I investigated the system of sleep using mathematics, computer science, and biology for sudden infant death syndrome. It was there in Newark where I invented email, when I was the first to convert every feature of the physical, paper-based interoffice mail system, including inbox, outbox, memo, carbon copy, blind carbon copy, attachments, into its electronic equivalent, a system which I named email, a term that I was the first to coin. On August 30th, 1982, I was awarded the first U.S. copyright for the invention of this system, recognizing me as the inventor of email. At that time, copyright was the only way to protect software inventions. I went on to MIT, where I earned 4 degrees across multiple systems of engineering: electrical, mechanical, design, biological. That training led me to invent many other systems for advancing humankind. EchoMail, the world's first intelligent email management system. CytoSolve, a computational biology system for eliminating animal testing to discover new medicines faster, cheaper, and safer. And to the creation of a whole systems methodology for certifying clean food. These innovations led me back on a Fulbright to India, where I discovered the missing link between Eastern medicine and Western systems theory, honoring my grandmother, to develop Your Body, Your System, a powerful tool that will help you understand how your body is a system and how the inputs of food, supplements, and exercise bring your body back to its natural system state. And Systems Health, an integrative educational discipline that is now integrated into the VA-SHIVA platform that will enable you to learn the science of systems, the science of everything, be it your body as a system or our society and politics as a system, to reveal the foundational interrelationships between truth, freedom, health. Now is the time for you to be the light, learn the science of systems, build community, and weaponize yourself to unleash the activism necessary to deliver truth, freedom, health in your local community. Welcome to VA-SHIVA.
All right, thank you. I'd like to play an introductory video on CytoSolve next.
Who would have ever thought someone like me would invent email and create CytoSolve to revolutionize health for personalized and precision medicine, a system for delivering the right medicine for the right person at the right time? I was born a low-caste untouchable in India's caste system, a system of aristocracy, oppression, and racism. As a child, I observed my grandmother, a poor village farmer, practice Siddha, India's oldest system of medicine, to heal local villagers by observing their face, to know their unique constitution, to deliver a unique combination of foods, healing herbs, and massage. The caste system and her abilities to heal inspired me to understand the interconnectedness of all life. My name is Dr.SHIVA Ayyadurai. I'm an MIT PhD, a Fulbright scholar, a scientist, technologist, and inventor. My family and I left India to come to America on my 7th birthday. As a 14-year-old, I began working as a full-time research fellow at Rutgers Medical School to unravel the mysteries of sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, and created the world's first email system long before I ever heard of MIT. As I traversed academia over the next 3 decades, I observed self-serving academics, never solving real problems, writing grant after grant, competing for tenure, while diminishing real science and real scientists, pushing a reductionist science to destroy the scientific method. Like the blind men who never saw the whole elephant, but the parts, they delivered a dismembered view of reality. I observed Big Pharma use such reductionism, wasting billions year after year to fund research in test tubes, killing animals, and using the poor as guinea pigs for clinical testing to create products that even the FDA no longer allowed. Not only Big Pharma practiced this reductionism, but also the elites of Big Vitamin, Big Green, and Big New Age, with gurus and yogis, empowered by Hollywood celebrities, selling one supplement after another based on a cherry-picked science. All that changed in 2003 when the Human Genome Project ended, revealing that humans have the same number of genes, about 20,000, as that of a worm, giving rise to a systems biology. We realized that one-size-fits-all medicine was a failure. We realized their medicines were killing us, making today's generation's lifespan shorter than any previous generation. Obesity, heart disease, deaths from adverse reaction to drugs, confusion on what diet, what supplements, and who to believe is what they have delivered you. They push natural and organic products for your beauty and wellness, while their real solution is their plastic surgeons and Botox. We've been sold out. It's time for real science, a system science that interconnects the parts to discover truth, to know what really works, to get the health we need and deserve. This is why I created CytoSolve. CytoSolve is about truth, freedom, and health versus power, profit, and control. CytoSolve is a revolutionary technology integrating bioinformatics, computational biology, mathematical modeling, decentralization to reveal the truth. CytoSolve computes trillions of potential combinations of biomolecular interactions to discover what actually works based on the actual science. No reductionism, no cherry picking. CytoSolve's predictive modeling has been proven accurate time and time again, matching laboratory results. CytoSolve discovers synergistic combinations of compounds to maximize health and reduce toxicity. For example, we know curcumin from turmeric and resveratrol from red grapes alleviate inflammation, but how much should we combine? Current methods are hand-waving at best. Here, with CytoSolve, we first model the control condition with no curcumin and no resveratrol to simulate high inflammation with the cytokine level at 0.15 micromolar. Next, we add just 5 micromolars of curcumin. The inflammation drops to 0.05. Next, we use 5 micromolars of resveratrol and the inflammation inflammation drops from 0.15 to 0.06. But when we combine curcumin and resveratrol of 3 micromolars of curcumin and 2 micromolars of resveratrol, inflammation drops from 0.15 to 0.03, far lower, nearly 200% less than just one compound alone. That's the synergy principle of system science. We've all had enough of their fake and reductionist science. They think we'll simply keep buying their marketing, their celebrities, and their products that can never truly heal us. We don't need them. Great things come when we integrate the best of things. It's our time. It's time we delivered solutions for ourselves. It's time for truth, freedom, and health. It's time for CytoSolve. Welcome.
So today's symposium is sponsored by MV25.
Millions of people suffer every day from painful discomfort and swelling, but most pain medications come with harsh side effects, and many alternative supplements have little scientific backing. That's why we at CytoSolve created MV25. MV25 was formulated using the CytoSolve Computational Systems Biology Platform, a technology for precision and personalized health invented by Dr.SHIVA during his doctoral research at MIT. This formulation is the result of computing trillions of potential combinations of biomolecular interactions derived from thousands of peer-reviewed scientific papers published across 4 decades by 68 research institutions to discover an optimal synergy of compounds that downregulate biomarkers of discomfort and normal swelling.
Hi, I'm Barbara Ann. My hands would cramp up so that I couldn't hold cards or knit or crochet, and they would go like that. And I'd have to use this when I played cards with my grandkids. And I started taking that MV25. After a bit, I was able to hold cards in my hand, very, very little cramping, hardly at all anymore. MV25.
Hi, my name is Sandy. I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I tore my ACL during Taekwondo. I had a lot of pain and limited mobility. I've been taking the MV25 for about 6 months now. After the first week, I noticed a big difference. After the second week, almost literally no pain.
My name is Jeremy, and I suffer from a lower back problem. Hurt my back at work years ago, and I can go to the chiropractor, do all kinds of different things, and nothing seems to help. And I decided to try MV25. I didn't notice a difference immediately, but within a few days, the pain went away, and it stayed away. I've continued to take it, and even when I do things that I shouldn't do, it seems to go away a lot quicker than it ever did before.
MV25 is certified clean, 100% non-GMO, made in America, and GMP certified for good manufacturing practices. MV25 is CytoSolve optimized, which means that this formula has been engineered to maximize benefits while minimizing toxicity based on current research curated by CytoSolve. As the science advances, so will this formulation. This is our promise. Order online at mv25.life. Consult your doctor before taking any supplement or medication and use as directed. MV25.
There's no sound.
All right, thank you for that. We should be starting shortly. Dr. Shiva is joining us momentarily. All right, welcome everyone. Today is the 7th CytoSolve Symposium, and the topic of conversation today is molecular science behind relaxation or stress. Dr. Shiva should be joining us shortly.
All right, Prabhakar, can we start?
Good morning, Dr. Shiva. Welcome
Yeah.
to the symposium.
So-
Yes, we can begin.
Yes. Sorry, everyone. As everyone knows, today's election day, and I was just doing an interview. But so what we want to talk about is the original research our team has conducted on the molecular science of relaxation. And it's very, very important to people to understand that this is original research using the CytoSolve platform. And I think Dr. Prabhakar played for you my journey to systems. And then Dr. Prabhakar, I think you played the CytoSolve video, right? So people
Right.
have an understanding. And then you understand that this technology that we've created allows us to really understand at the molecular systems level, the interconnections among molecular pathways, et cetera. It's a revolutionary technology, but it is one part of our solution in our Truth, Freedom, Health movement. Next. So what we want to discuss today is really when we talk about any topic we take, we don't just talk about science by itself, but we take a system science approach. So we'll talk about the science, the politics, and the health of any topic. You've learned what CytoSolve is, and then we're going to go into what is relaxation, right? Most people can't relax. Most of the diseases in the world are caused by stress, if not all of them. Then we're going to go to the architecture of relaxation and what are the nutrients that we're researching that could actually help. Next. So I think Dr. Prabhakar played you this video, but one of the key things, the reason we played you that video is all of the health stuff that I'm involved in CytoSolve, our team, it's the end state is we're driven, motivated by this very particular analysis that lifespan is actually going down globally. Okay, that's what's really going on. So the politicians have been doing policies which have destroyed your lifespan. And on top of that, your cost of living is going up. Next. And the reason this is occurring is because of the infinite amounts of physical stress, biological stress, emotional stress that people are under. And that stress is being caused fundamentally because our healthcare systems are destroying our immune systems. The environment, it's hard to get really good food. The educational systems do not teach people a way to look at the world from a systems approach. They teach people little pieces of the puzzle. Young people are not know how to solve problems. Governance systems, as we know, infinite number of corrupt leaders. And people don't know how to save money. But in each one of these areas, next slide, the movement for truth, freedom, and health, which is global, incredible people all over. If you look at my Twitter thread, you'll see these amazing videos by everyday people are learning this very powerful science. Next. And what we're doing is we actually have solutions. Our movement teaches people how to strengthen the immune system. We saved 100 million or more people's lives during the pandemic. We teach people how to eat and discover what are healthy foods because we're the ones who created the certified clean seal, which is a global seal that defines the sourcing of food. We teach people system science. If you made it this far, go to Truth, Freedom, and Health and become a warrior scholar. You will actually understand how to know truth from lies by a way you learn how to think. And then the other piece is, if you have young kids, your kids should be made to be smart. You know, I've created a program called Innovation Core where we highlight 14 through 18-year-olds. We give them a little bit of money. We teach them how to think. And then be a leader in your own community. The Truth, Freedom, Health program has an incredible leadership program. It's very hard to get in to it because we want to find the best people and we want those people to be successful. And then we teach people really to understand how the economy works. So this is a way out of that stress. Next. So as a part of this, I recommend if you made it this far, go to truthfreedomhealth.com. It's a way you can support yourself and what we're doing. Get educated or be enslaved. Next. And every Thursdays, we run an open house at vashiva.com/orientation. Dr. Prabhakar will be putting all these links up. Next. Every aspect of what we do is to thinking people how to be Renaissance people, to think, fight, and heal. As a part of that, next, we have platforms, CytoSolve, Truth, Freedom, and Health, VA Shiva Systems Health, next. And these platforms are technologies, communities, digital platforms that are designed to help you, find truth, think, fight, and heal. Next. So one of the areas is, as we talk about CytoSolve, we're driven by this very important reality that food is medicine. Next, as a part of food being medicine, we know that where food comes from is important. Where did this food come from that you're putting into the mouth? Can you trust it? The clean food and the certified raw seals we developed over 10, 15 years, they're on products which are very high quality, and we track where they're coming from and are they of the highest quality. Next, the other piece is, and we do, by the way, we do a clean food forum next Tuesday, the second Tuesdays of every month. I think next one we're discussing spirulina, right, Prabhakar? The sourcing of it, where it comes from. Next. Next is to recognize it's great that food is medicine, but food has lots and lots of compounds. We've created CytoSolve as a technology to help you combine these compounds to create medicines. You can use it. We also use it. Next, we've created amazing medicines out of it. And Dr. Prabhakar played you a video of that. Next. And then finally, by the way, we've created all these incredible new teas. We went through all the ancient scriptures in Indian Ayurvedic medicine, and we found these combinations of herbs, and we ran CytoSolve through it. Thanks, Prabhakar. And so these we're rolling out. Next. And they're for particular functions. And then the symposium we host is the first Tuesdays of every month. And that's what we're doing today. Next. So let's jump into this. And oh, by the way, Prabhakar, you may want to, systemself.com/tutorial. Every other Fridays, we do a tutorial. So you too can become your own health educator or a health coach. It's a very powerful curriculum. There's a free tutorial we do every other Friday. So please join us. And this will teach you how to figure out the right food for the right person at the right time. Next. There's technologies we've created that helps you figure out what kind of system you are. Next, when your system is off course, and then what are the right foods for you? This is part of the system self-training. For example, this is a tea that imbalances if your vata is off course, which is your transport. Next, if your pitta or your conversion systems. Next, or your kapha or your storage systems. Next, or combinations thereof. You can go through the Prabhakar. So we've made it very easy to take ancient systems of knowledge and codify them in modern engineering science terms. Real solutions. That's a key takeaway. Next. So our movement has real solutions that can fundamentally change you and the world. Next. Okay, next. So I encourage all of you to do that. Become members. Next. It's a way. Next. You can become members of this movement. You don't have to pay anything, or if you want to contribute something. Next. You get lots of gifts and lots of training. Next. So go to truthprovenhealth.com and support yourself. Next. So next, let's go to CytoSolve. As I mentioned to you, as a video shared, Dr. Prabhakar has already played you that video. Next, but also I'll go through this very quickly. CytoSolve is a platform for looking at all of nature's compounds next and combining them to figure out what really works. And we've created our own innovation process. It's literally a scientific platform. So when we talk about relaxation, what we've done is, first of all, we created architecture. We take a look at every paper that's ever been written on a topic. We extract out the molecular pathways and we create an architecture. Next, once we've done that, we publish it because we want to openly share it and get critiqued on if we've gotten anything wrong. Next, and then with that publication, we mathematically model those molecular pathways. Next. And then the next thing we do is we use that for looking at natural compounds and figure out works or not. Next. And then we, if we discover something, we protect it, and then we can manufacture or license it. Next. And this is sort of the process we went through. And we're going, by the way, we're going after every major disease on the planet. And we're doing this for pennies on the dollar, not for billions of dollars. And this is all supported by you. It's truly, a citizen science. Next. So as an example, Dr. Prabhakar walked you through in that video what we did with osteoarthritis. So for example, we mapped out all the molecular pathways of osteoarthritis, but with relaxation, we're already at the point, and that's what we're going to share with you today. We've mapped out all the molecular pathways out of the hundreds of thousands of papers that are involved in relaxation. And we're at a point now where we've actually discovered some very powerful combinations. Next. So let's walk you through this. Next. And by the way, with NV25, we did this just for osteoarthritis. Next, we looked at the molecular pathways. Prabhakar, if you can just keep up with my words there. Then we published all of this. And then we mathematically modeled it. And then we went through all the different types of compounds in nature. Not pharmaceutical compounds, natural compounds. And we found a combination of two very powerful ingredients from chamomile and bitter orange. Then we did the analysis at the right dosages, and we found out these two chemicals lower pain, inflammation, oxidative stress. And then we went and produced it. And then we got a US patent, which was very, very difficult to get. And then we've made it accessible to all people. So you guys can support yourselves and us by looking at this. And the compounds in there are very, very powerful compounds. You can go to mb25.life. We plan to have more products like these, but these are bottoms up. We also have created a product called K9701 coming from the same process for pets. It's a combination around 16 or 17 very powerful natural ingredients. Next. All right. And then obviously we have these teas. Next. All right, so let's talk about relaxation. So now you have a pretty good background of what motivates us politically from a health standpoint. Let's talk about the science next. So when you look at our relaxation initiative, that's where we are in this process. Next, who does relaxation affect? Okay, first of all, when we looked at relaxation, there are multiple factors involved in when you don't relax or do relax. Lifestyle. Some of it's genetic. Some people actually have body clocks that are set off. In fact, we have now discovered about 10 to 15 genes in the body that control your sleep patterns, okay? Dysbiosis of your gut. You don't have proper intestinal flora. Environmental factors, chronic illness or traumatic events. So just let's look at those. So these are many triggers. You see, this is a systems problem. It's not any one thing. Just because you eat yogurt doesn't mean you're going to sleep well. Doesn't mean just because you solve some environmental issue. Oh, I'm staying away from 5G. Okay, well, it's not going to do it. You have to take a systems approach. So we've identified 6 different areas. Next. Then what we did was we wanted to really understand what is relaxation. Next, or stress, the alternative. So what you find is there are a very important thing called the HPA axis, the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis. And it's an interesting set of organs that go all the way from your pituitary in your brain down to the hypothalamus, right? And down to the adrenal glands. Your adrenal glands are, if you take your hand and you put it behind your back, your lower back, right on top of your kidneys are these adrenal glands. And this HPA axis controls your entire sleep or your relaxation state. So when you have a stressor, dog is coming at you, right? You may decide to flight or fight response, right? You may decide to fight the dog, you may decide to run. So that's a stressor. Someone may annoy you at work. You're living around someone who constantly bugs you, okay? In chronically bad relationships, whatever that is, or in whatever situations, or in environments or societies. So that's a trigger. That trigger then first hits your hypothalamus, which then activates your pituitary gland. And your pituitary gland then releases right in the center of that arrow, as Dr. Prabhakar will point there, releases ACTH, okay, which is called the adrenocorticotropic hormone, ACTH. So you get scared by something or you want to fight, that hormone gets released, so it goes from your pituitary gland and it sends it down to your adrenal glands. Sometimes people actually feel this in their bodies. And the ACTH activates the adrenal, which are those 2 organs sitting above your kidneys, to release a stress hormone, cortisol, okay? And or adrenaline. So you have cortisol and or adrenaline now being pumped into your bloodstream, okay? Obviously, if someone is coming at you with a knife, you want to run, and the adrenaline is what gives you the energy to run faster than them, okay? Hopefully. So cortisol and adrenal get released into your bloodstream, but look at the bottom. The adrenal, the release of adrenaline and the release of cortisol affect every organ in your body. This is why stress is so powerful. It affects your liver, the storage of glycogen, right? Obesity, right? Increase in blood pressure, okay? Hypertension. Increased in sweating, fast breathing, accelerated heart rate, tunnel vision, and digestion. So think about if you're constantly under stress, your digestion slows down. Constantly under stress, your body doesn't burn fat properly. Constantly under stress, you get high blood pressure. So just look at this diagram. This is a systems diagram. Politicians. These really scumbag politicians, there's a step below the brain. They are passing policies every day that are destroying your body because they create immense stress. As I've said, policies affect your biology. Donald fucking Trump screwed over a lot of our biologies. He shut down the country and locked us down. They start wars, and that gives us tension. They increase the cost of living. That increases tension. They print money. So I want you to look at this biology and understand before, Prabhakar, just point at the brain, okay? Before that, you could draw another diagram of all the policies that that person is witnessing. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. This is why we say the science, the politics, and the health. So if you're just looking at, oh, I'm getting too fat, and you're just focusing on the liver, or my digestion ain't good, you're not looking at upstream what caused that. Those in power are creating policies that are screwing up your biology. So yeah, we can take vitamins. Yeah, we can take this. And all of them are good. They're protective. But the ultimate is we must build a movement for truth, freedom, health to understand this dynamics. Next. So the downstream effects of all of this, as I said, is placed a flight or fight response. Your cardiovascular systems get affected, increased heart rate, stronger heart muscle contractions and dilation of the heart. You have bronchial hyperresponsiveness and inflammation. You could go into asthma, okay? Gastrointestinal systems, delayed gastric emptying and reduced intestinal transit. Here's the big thing. A lot of these idiot doctors start giving people antacids to take. Oh my God, your digestion is bad. You're putting out too much acid. The opposite is true. You actually don't have enough acid, okay? Next. Musculoskeletal system, your muscle starts wasting. You have decreased bone density. Immune system. During the pandemic, people's immune systems were shot under the stress. People started taking anti-anxiety, anti-depression medicines. That was screwing up your immune systems. Reproductive systems. We have the impairment of the ovaries in women, the reduction of testosterone. So everyone is talking about, oh my God, testosterone is going down, plastics, this, that. Yeah, but what about stress? What about the constant stress men are under or women are under? Next. 58%, and this is being conservative, 60% of the US population suffers from stress and stress-related diseases. Just look at that number, 60%. It's a lot of people. And I would argue most of that stress is societal stress by policies that are created by politicians. Next. So what is the systems biology of stress? Okay. Well, it's not any one thing. This is what the research from the CytoSolve team shows. This is not a magic bullet. There's multiple things that cause stress. And we've at least identified 6 major subsystems. Nerve growth factor signaling, that's called NGF. And there's a whole bunch of mechanisms there. Nerve growth factor signaling. Next, neurotransmitter signaling, okay? So this is a mechanism, how your neurotransmitters work, how your neurons are firing by sending nerve signals. Next, what we just talked about, the HPA axis, a different type of signaling. Gut microbiome, you get angry, you get stressed, you get ulcers. Well, that communicates with the other parts of your body. Endocannabinoid signaling. This doesn't mean weed. This doesn't mean smoke weed all day. In fact, our body has an amazing endocannabinoid system, okay? Our body has an endocannabinoid system. What does this mean? Throughout your entire body are receptors for endocannabinoids. Endo means internal. When you relax, when you meditate, your body releases these cannabinoids. You don't need to smoke weed. In fact, when you smoke weed and that stuff, you're actually like cutting off your own system. No different than a bodybuilder taking testosterone and his nuts shrinking. We're supposed to relax. Next, catecholamine signaling, a whole nother system that's involved from your hypothalamus to your adrenal, okay? Through your spinal cord. So when you look at all of these systems, all of these 6 systems have to be functioning well for you to relax. Just look at this. This is why I keep saying stress is highly, highly destructive to your relaxation. Next. Prabhakar, can you just fix that relaxation slide? It's spelled wrong. Just take a moment to do that. So as Prabhakar is doing that, please recognize that when we take a systems approach, we are educating you that it's not based on any one thing. It is based on the multiplicity of things. Your body is a very finely tuned orchestra of a bunch of different instruments that are playing. Think about going to listen to an orchestra. If one, instrument is out of tune, you feel it right away, right? It affects the whole performance. So all of these instruments here that we're going through, all of these instruments have to be properly aligned. This is why stress is so important, because one type of stress, and if you don't have the resilience to manage that stress, you're going to really, really affect everything downstream, okay? So in nerve growth signaling, stay right there. Okay, you're going to finish all those? So nerve growth signaling, if you just go back, Prabhakar, you can fix them and change them in real time. In nerve growth signaling, each one of these areas has a particular molecule, which is called a biomarker. So nerve growth signaling has a certain molecule, HPX has a certain molecule, multiple molecules. So you find out in relaxation, there are multiple biomarkers which are involved in understanding if you're on target or headed in the right direction. So if your nerve growth signaling is good, if you can just go back to the beginning, Prabhakar, so you can walk through each one. Yeah. So next. So nerve growth signaling is measured, next slide, by BDNF. Okay, it's a particular molecule. If BDNF levels are high, you're going to have relaxation possibilities. Okay, if they're low, it's not going to work. You want to increase BDNF levels. There are certain foods that will increase BDNF. Next. The other thing is you want nerve growth, neurotransmitter signaling, GABA and serotonin to be high. Okay? Again, there are products you can get. You can do certain things, certain yoga postures, certain resilience exercise that'll increase GABA and serotonin. Next.
And
When it comes to the HPA, what's that, Prabhakar?
Some diets also help you with increasing GABA and serotonin.
Right, certain diets too. Next. Cortisol. You want to make sure your cortisol doesn't go high. You want to now certain times you need cortisol, but some people have cortisols all high all the time, so you want to reduce that. Next. When it comes to the gut microbiome, there are two very particular cytokines, IL-17 and IL-6. If you look at a lot of the cancer literature, IL-6 and IL-17 show up everywhere. So again, if you're under constant stress, IL-17 and IL-6 are going to be high. You want to bring those down. Next, endocannabinoid signaling. This is really powerful. Anandamide is a very powerful endocannabinoid. Those of you smoking weed all day and taking THC understand that you're fucking up your receptors in your body over time. But anandamide is released when you eat certain diets with the good omega-3 fatty foods and you learn how to meditate. Relaxation, being happy. AEA relaxes. Politicians make us very unhappy. You're unhappy, you smoke weed all day, you don't know what the fuck is going on, and believe it or not, it's going to have a lot of downstream effects that people aren't fully aware of. Next, it's a Band-Aid. Dopamine levels need to come down if you want to support catecholamine signaling. So what do you see here? If you want to have proper relaxation, the 3 in green need to go up, BDNF, GABA, serotonin, and AEA, and the 3 in red need to come down, cortisol, IL-17, IL-6, and dopamine. Now let's just stop here. Where else are you going to get this kind of education? What's happening out there is some idiot trying to sell some supplement will just say, oh, take this. And then we'll have a bunch of people coming and saying, oh, BDNF, this is a BDNF enhancer. Okay, but what's it doing to these other 6 things? Okay? So please understand, this is what systems thinking is. We look at the whole. We don't want to be bamboozled by snake oil people. You have to recognize that all of these things are involved in relaxation. So just look at this, reflect on this. A proper lifestyle, proper diet, proper supplementation, having good friends, having community of friendships will positively affect all of these. An environment where constantly under stress, economic stress, physical stress, emotional stress, spiritual stress is going to screw up all of these. So if we want to change the world for ourselves and you want to save yourself, understand that we're giving you a roadmap to do that. Next, a scientific roadmap. Next. Now we have gone even further. We just published a systems architecture relaxation paper. Okay, we have created an architecture recognizing that if you want to get relaxation, you have to support, again, nerve growth factor signaling, neurotransmitter signaling, HPA axis, gut microbiome, endocannabinoid, and catecholamine. And at that level, there are different things in your body, your neurons, your glial cells, your enteric cells, and your microbiota. All of those cellular systems have to be supported to support those signaling mechanisms, which will give you relaxation. We just published this, okay? Next. We are now starting, we've done the modeling. We took, it must be trillions of mathematical computations, trillions, using, thousands of molecular pathways based on this fundamental understanding. And we started looking at molecules. Next. And we went through nearly 109 different molecules in nature, 109, be it stuff coming from, things like eugenol or quercetin or, woganin or linoleic acid or curcumin or vanilla, like vanillin, magnesium. We've gone through everything. Out of the hundreds of thousands of compounds out there, we found 109, and out of those, we started putting them together in trillions of different combinations. Think about what we're doing. This is what the ancients used to do. Accidentally, they'd find combinations. We're doing it in a much more profound way. How are we funding this research? By all of you supporting us. There's no NIH involved. There's no big fucking pharma involved. This is by the people for the people. So all of you listening, if you want to support what we're doing, become warriors. Get involved, support our research, buy the products we're doing, because this is bottoms up. And we share all of this research. We don't hide it. We're doing open science. Next. So we have now found a set of combinations from these very powerful molecules. Okay? These 30 molecules we know have very powerful uses. Next. And we have found 6 ingredients which we're about to bring to market from all of that work, trillions of combinations. And that's where we're at. Next. And so here's what we found. So BDNF values with our combination goes down by nearly 50%. Look, 1.2 down to 0.6. So we are able to, increase BDNF level. Remember, you want to increase BDNF. That's one of the things. So BDNF counteracts stress-induced adverse effects, and the combinations of the 6 ingredient upregulated BDNF. Next. Next thing, we were able to increase GABA and GABA signaling, which is amazing. Look, it went from 220, nearly a 40 to 50% increase, right? 40% increase. Quite amazing with this combinations of 6 different ingredients. Next. Then this is really powerful. Serotonin levels went from 5 all the way to 60. That's nearly 100%. No, sorry. It's a 10x increase. That's 1,000% increase with this combination. And now serotonin is important because it too counteracts stress and promotes relaxation. Next. And when it comes to IL-6, which is not good, we brought it down by nearly a factor of what? 10 to the power of 4. It went from 10 to the power minus 5 to 10 to the power of minus 9. So 10 to the power of 4. Now this reduces neuroinflammation. Neuroinflammation is the critical thing that causes Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, every major disease. So this combination brings it down by a factor of 10,000. Next. Next, IL-17, it took it from about a factor of 9 down to 0.0004, which is again a factor of 10,000. So it brings down IL-17, which is good. Next. And then when we looked at anandamide, okay, this took it from 0.005 about to 0.0016. That's nearly what, a tripling, okay? Well, you don't need to smoke weed, okay? This is a combination that supports your own entire endocannabinoids. This would be like, instead of taking testosterone injections, you're giving your body food, so your body makes testosterone, okay? It's a very different approach. One will shrink your testes, the others will not do that. You're using food. Next. And then finally, dopamine. You know, we're looking at bringing down dopamine levels from around 225 down to 100. So that's nearly a 50% reduction. Next. So that's what we've done. We have used this very powerful technology. This took us the last 4 years. We identified an initial list of 109 ingredients. They may affect these 6 molecular systems. We shortlisted down to 30. Then we ran trillions of combinations. And we found these very powerful ingredients. And we discovered this one optimal combination. And we did over billions of combinations, which means trillions of computations, or trillions, quadrillion, okay? And the doses range from 1 to 1,000 milligrams per ingredient, okay? Next. So next, so where we are at now is we're in the midst of getting our patents on this. Once we do this, we're going to start manufacturing it. Any one of you here, as from a citizen standpoint, we're making opportunity. People want to invest in this. People want to learn more. They can be part of this. Everything we've done for the public bottoms up. If a pharmaceutical company did this, one of these screwball biotechs, they would have probably raised $1 billion. We've raised nothing for this. All done bottoms up. Next. Because we have this very revolutionary technology. Next. And no animals were killed in this. Okay? Next. So let's just go back to video for a second, Prabhakar. I want to take some questions, and then we want to encourage all of you guys to support what we're doing and support yourselves. But in summary, we have very meticulously, Prabhakar, when did we start this research? I think it was what, 2020 was it?
2021.
2021. So it's been a lot of hard work for 3 years. We've been working very hard, looking at all the papers, building the architecture, looking at the combinations. I mean, don't you think the government or someone else should be doing this? But we have to do it because they're not really interested in looking at natural compounds. They don't want to go to nature. They want to create it. They want to create synthetic compounds that the manufacturing of those only they own. Okay, so that's what we've done here. And let me take some questions, but because we have our movement, we need your support. Your support can be many ways. You can just want to learn more. You can want to maybe be a citizen scientist. There's many ways that you can help. Any questions on this? What we've shared with you? On the mechanisms, that relaxation is a very complex problem. And this is why it's been hard for people to really find a solution, because they're just saying they come up with a product that only promotes one thing. They don't focus on the whole.
What about dose rate?
The what?
Dosage.
Yeah, so who asked that, by the way?
Imogen.
Who was it?
Imogen.
Oh, okay. Let me just do it so you can raise your hand when you want to ask a question. Okay, so Imogen, so the dose range varies from 1 milligram to 1,000 milligrams of each one of these ingredients. That's the dose range. It's a combination. The reality is that when you're using combinations, you don't need to put one of a lot of things because they have a synergistic effect, because these combinations are hitting multiple systems. So it's almost like though you have a very complex gear system and you're hitting this and this and this and this. It has what's called an ensemble effect versus just giving one single molecule, which you have to give a lot of. That's what happens in chemotherapy. They give one compound that may work for that one target, but it has devastating effects everywhere else. Someone said, did you study the effect of black seed for relaxation? What about electromagnetic frequencies and its effect on your products? Could the products be optimized by using healthy frequencies? Yeah, so let's talk about this. I don't think black seed came up in our hits, right, Prabhakar? Maybe it did. Oh, I think it was in there, right? One of the cumin compounds. So black seed is, the dark seeds The reality is it has many different natural compounds in it. The issue is when you say black seed, there are different compounds in it. Which compounds? Some of those
I think what
compounds,
David,
if you look at our black cumin seed, Prabhakar, I think some of those compounds are in there. I forget which ones, like the linoleic acid.
yeah,
There's
yeah, I think we captured some of the compounds from black cumin seed.
yeah, so some of the compounds from black seed are in here. Now, when it comes to electromagnetic frequencies, okay, let's talk about this because people use this term and they throw it around without understanding what is an electromagnetic frequency. It is energy. Energy affects information and it also affects matter, okay? So the question is, did we infuse our stuff with any type of electromagnetic energy? Well, first of all compounds have electromagnetic energies around them. The issue is, do we use other frequencies? Well, when you look at the cellular level, what you really start understanding is all the chemical reactions taking place at the cellular level are in fact wave propagation equations. And we can get into that at a deeper level. So this entire system is electromagnetic at the core. When you're combining different molecules, they themselves have different frequencies within them. So it's almost like saying, did we use matter? Did we use energy? Of course. So we have to just be very careful. If you're saying, did we, independent of the combinations, did we send separate electromagnetic energies? No, we did not do that. Could we do that? Sure. The reality is, can you measure these at the molecular systems level? And in order to do that, we would have to have a priori research, and there's very little of that around out there. If people wanted to support our research, we could obviously do that kind of work. Let's go to the next question. Okay, any other questions? Barbara, do you have a question? Okay, go ahead, Barbara, question, and then we go to Eric Knight.
Yes, I apologize for coming in late, but I was voting for you. My question is, how would we go about investing in this? I don't have a lot of money. I'm on a very limited income, but I would definitely be interested in investing in this because I started taking your MV25, Dr. Shiva, and my arm stopped throbbing. Okay, now I've ran out and it started again, but how do we go about investing in your company?
It's a good question. You see, there's different models so one is typically when you invest in a company, you have to go to the public market, right? Or you have to have a lot of money, you know?
Oh,
so we are communicating with some legal counsel where people can invest $1 to $1 million, you see, and everyone can be part of the Citizen Science Investment Fund that we're creating. So we'll probably have that put together over the next, but probably in the beginning of the year, Barbara, okay? That's one, and so for small amounts, for larger amounts, it's easier, you know, 10 to 20, we have a set of common shares set up and people can invest in those shares. And we can do that. In order to do that, legally, people have to acknowledge that they are like they know what they're investing in. So we're not stealing money from people, right? So there's some formalities to that if you guys are interested, we can do that at a separate meeting. So if you are interested in that, Prabhakar, if you can set at the Calendly link, we can do that. And we can do a follow-up meeting. So if you're interested in that, please go to that Calendly link and say, I'm interested, and we'll follow up with that. But the bottom line to Barbara's question is that we're literally creating a citizen science platform. We're very methodically understanding the mechanisms. We're looking at all the different ingredients in nature. We're screening them. We're finding combinations. Then we have to get protection in terms of the IP protection. And now we need to go produce them and market them. This is where a lot of money is needed. But if we can do this by the people, for the people, we all can be part of the wealth creation. And that's the model that we're putting together. Thanks, Barbara. So Dr. Prabhakar will put up some links. Catherine Suisse. Hi, Catherine.
Good morning. This is very exciting to hear about the relaxation study because, yeah, I know it's a basis of disease, the inflammation, the stress, and the inflammation. This is an incredible thing. As a community-based nurse, I mean, this is going to take over so many of the, excuse my language, shitty pharmaceuticals out there to help people relax and support. Anyway, Barbara did ask the question I had, which was how to invest, and I would be very interested in how to become part of that. The other question is, do you have a sense of time and when this new product that you're going to get patent for might be on market?
Yeah, I think we're looking at the first quarter of next year. So it's about three months away. I mean,
that's
yeah.
terrific.
So,
Terrific.
but we've been
Yeah.
working on this for 3 years. So
Yep.
A lot of this is we source the ingredients from reputable sources, right? Where the
Yes.
ingredients are coming from, we test them, they have to be clean certified, all those important things. MV25, you know, that took us a long time to put together. Again, it was sourcing. And just to understand, everyone out there, any of our products, notice we're not taking out major ads. Everything is done by these videos organically. These products are very powerful products. So part of what we're doing is when we go to how you can support this is you guys can be supporters and affiliates in getting, it's not some, we don't want to create some MLM model. We want to create just a flat model where people can take this, they themselves use it, but they can also be entrepreneurs in this. So that's the model that we're creating to support you as well as to help us get these out there. We'd rather have our own distribution mechanism than rely on retail outlets. It'd be great to get them into small retail outlets, you know, but we want to really, again, end to end, it's our community that is getting this out there, Catherine. So Catherine, Dr. Prabhakar will put a link out there that we can host a meeting. Just put your name there. And Prabhakar, if you can get people's names, and we'll send out an email to all of you people, and we'll do probably a separate group meeting on that.
Wonderful. I so appreciate it. And Shiva for president. Godspeed.
Yes. Yeah, everyone knows today's voting day. If you're in the United States, vote or write in. In nearly every state, you can write in. Even if you just write in Dr.SHIVA, it's allowed. Okay. And get out there and know that we don't win by voting for any of them. By people voting for Dr.SHIVA, what you're really doing is you're voting for yourself. You're saying, I know enough that we have to build a bottoms-up movement. We have to support independent bottoms-up people. That's what this is about. So that's the opportunity for everyone. So go do that. Thanks, Catherine. Let's go to Ari. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go to Eric Knight. He had his hand up, then we'll come back to Ari. Ari, we'll come right back to you. Go ahead, Ari. Eric, I'm sorry. Eric? Eric,
Yeah,
Ari,
Eric,
WM.
Eric, yeah, okay, cool. Hey,
Hi,
how
Eric,
you doing?
go ahead.
How you doing, Dr. Shiva? I'm gonna make it quick and kind of short. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Your work has inspired my work. I've been following your work for like the past 3.5 years now, and you've inspired like my work. So I wanted to kind of tell you what I've been working on, but at the same time, I wanted to see if there's any way that I can help, if we can come together in some type of way, and where we can all benefit, you know what I mean? Like to help heal the world. But I kind of programmed artificial intelligence to kind of basically program nanotech to be able to heal specific parts of the body specifically. And the CytoSolve, like it all basically plays a part in it because the specific algorithms that you have created to heal people's specific illnesses or pains or whatever, it can go along with my project as well. So I mean, I like I said, I don't really have any questions, but I was wondering if I can put some input in or whatever, and I may need a little bit of help.
Why don't you send an email to me and Dr. Prabhakar? Dr. Prabhakar will give you his email, just sort of describing what it is so we can look at it before we get together.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay. Nice to meet you, Dr. Shiva, officially. And I'm kind of just now waking up today, so I'm kind of getting my day started. So
Okay.
I had to make sure I made it to this meeting so I can at least give you some type of feedback. You know what I mean? Some type of input. But yeah, I appreciate you and I appreciate
All
everybody
right.
that's here. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you
Eric.
very much.
Thanks for your kind comments. Yep. Let's go to Ari Ikeji. Ari, go ahead. Where did Ari go? Barker, do you want to select her? Hello, Ari?
Yeah, I'm trying to find her.
Okay. Let's go to
I'm asking her to unmute.
yeah. WM?
Top of the afternoon, Dr. Shiva and everyone on the call. Thank you for the wonderful insights. My question is, what's the strategy to maintain the clean food source supply for the creation of the products?
Yeah, so you're looking at our clean certification, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so when we look at clean, there's multiple phenomenon there, which we'll do it next Tuesday, so I don't want to go too much into it, but one is the non-GMO factor, one is the organic nature, one is the bioavailability, and the other is nutritional density, and the other part is safety. The safety production piece is a process that we're helping organizations do. Some people are producing stuff which are in unsafe environments. The political things that are related are GMO. For example, New Zealand, which is a pristine country, is about to bring GMOs there. Well, with CytoSolve, we have actually shown what happens when you do genetic engineering of plants, that it disrupts the plant's glutathione levels. Now, so we have the technology to show this, but this is why you need to build a movement. It's not sufficient that we have done the science and we've published. You need you to get off your butt, go out there, bring people into our movement for truth, freedom, health. So in New Zealand, for example, we have Tony Pierce. Because we have our science and we have Tony on the ground, we can now build or direct the movement the proper way. Many of these movements are being misled by people like Booby F. and Kennedy, you say, or Jill Steins, who act like they're fighting for us, but they're actually part of the establishment. This is why the movement for truth, freedom, and health, we have all the components, the science, the health piece, and the movement. But it is only the technologies and the real solutions to the world cannot come out. Those in power do not want real solutions coming out. So the only way real solutions come out is people demand it and we build movements. So it's not a technology solution. It ultimately is a political and a technology solution. Does that make sense? So where are you out of, for example, WM?
I'm currently in the North Carolina mountains.
Okay, so you should connect, for example, with Sonia Fredericks there, okay? And Sonia pretty much single-handedly with Barbara got us on the ballot there. You had to get a lot of signatures even to get as a write-in. Many people couldn't even do that. So the point is that it is people power that's going to do this. So a lot of people don't even see the importance of getting out there and helping us collect signatures or handing out a flyer. They'll talk all day, they'll whine and bitch and moan, but they won't get together with people to do the work. Barbara is right from there. Barbara's in North Carolina. Barbara can tell you she called up so many people to help us collect signatures, right, Barbara? And most
Yes,
people,
I did.
I love Dr.
I
Shiva.
did.
I love Dr.
And you know what? Most
let me
of the
finish.
men.
Yeah, I love, but then when it came to do the work, you know, it's easy to say, I love you, Dr. Shiva. That's fine. It's a great compliment. I love that, to hear that. But that's not sufficient. We need people to actually build the movement, which means go through the learnings, learn, get on the ground. And we've made it so people can do this in their day-to-day lives. The world doesn't change because there's not enough of us. There's 8 billion of us. The world does not change because there are a bunch of people talking and there's very few people walking. There's a lot of people awakening to what's going on, but they're not getting out of bed and putting on their shoes and walking the walk. Does that make sense?
Understood. I've already connected with Jason. So
good, but you should connect with Sonia because she's in North Carolina.
Yeah, I also have a residence in Florida, which I'll be going
Great.
back.
And Andrew Rice is there.
Great.
So it's a great question you're asking. You see, that's what we say, think, fight, and heal. The thinking is what we just did with CytoSolve, the knowledge and the science. The healing is you supporting your own health, but then the fighting is getting on the ground and doing the activism. You have to do all three. Otherwise, great solutions like what we have don't see the light of day, or they only hit a certain number of people. We have to create our own distribution models. Thanks, W. Okay, let's go to Ari. Go ahead, Ari's back. Ari, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can take 2 more questions.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yes, Ari, go ahead.
Oh, great. Okay. No, there was a problem with the microphone before. So I have 2 questions, right? So in general, you say that CytoSolve is based on personalized medicine. And so I'm wondering, when you have these products, are there certain dosage that you recommend according to the person's type?
Yeah, so what we can do, so first of all, Ari, there's 2 parts. First is finding the right combination. Does that make sense? Among the infinite possibilities.
Sure.
That itself is a Herculean effort because pharma only focuses on one compound.
Right.
So there's a synergy. The next part is personalizing to the individual, right? That we can do, but that requires very specific custom formulations for that individual, like compound pharmacies. We can do that. It's a little more expensive, okay?
Okay.
And then you have to bottle it separately. So we've looked at that. There's some very powerful 3D printing technologies that allow us to do that. But again, where we're at is we've done all the hard work. We need funding and support, you see, in any of these areas.
Right.
Because we could theoretically have these formulations, figure out your particular things and print or make a formulation of these combinations for you, you see?
Okay.
It's just money and resources.
Sure.
We've cracked the code on how to do that.
Right.
That's 99% of the problem.
Right. Okay. So okay. The second question that I have is about this claim about the animal testing, right? So I understand like all of these computation is at the computation level, and I had this discussion already with Dr. Prabhakar. But how can you say without doing the animal testing and the human testing afterwards to claim that the animal testing is not necessary? In other words, like what you show with the computation, how can you show that it translates to the real reactions on human body?
Yeah, so the way that the world is moving to right now, when they take these compounds, they're doing them in vitro. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yes.
They do it in a test tube with cells.
Right.
Then they go to an animal, which doesn't translate to a human.
Right.
So what we are saying is once you understand the mechanistic reactions, because sodium plus chloride always goes to sodium chloride. That's a law. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Right.
So you don't need to do animal testing to prove that again.
Right.
Now, the future is going to be, you can literally do human cells, okay? You don't need to go to a whole human, okay? So if you want, so once we figure out the computations, we can just do that on a human cell just for double checking. But you don't have to go kill the whole human. You don't have to kill the animal. You got it?
Right.
So the future is we literally have these computations. If people say you need to do some testing, well, you don't need to. You can just do it with human cells.
Okay.
Or
so is that something
what are called on a chip? Okay.
Right.
You can literally do organs on a chip. But the cool thing is we know exactly what tests to do, but we don't need to go inject it into an animal. You can do it in a very localized way in vitro with those human cells. So you go from human cells right to the human.
Okay. Is that something that you're planning to do, or?
We are doing that. Yeah. Like we do, like, so certain things we can test on human cells, you see?
Okay.
So in our combination, because our computations are right, if you, for example, know a doctor, okay, you could we could say, okay, find all the people who have inflammation. You give them, I don't know, Advil, and let the others take our thing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Again, it's funding.
Right.
And it's a doctor wanting to do that. But we've already done all those computational work. Remember, let me just make this very clear. Every one of our chemical equations is not made up. A lot of
Right.
people think these are models. They're not. They're literally pieces of truth coming from already done work. You follow?
Right. Right.
So
No,
it's not like we're making up sodium plus chloride equals sodium chloride. That's a proven thing. So we're going down to these pieces of scientific truth.
right.
It's like
No, that
we're
I have
doing
no doubt.
Lego building.
No, that I have no doubt. I'm just wondering, knowing that the human body is a system, and there are many things that I'm sure that we don't understand still. I'm just wondering if you are able to show at the cellular level, you're able to get the effect that you're looking for. Does that really translate to the whole human body? This is my question.
Right. So again, to repeat, once you understand the mechanisms of action, okay?
Right.
That is a mechanistic model. That's predictive in and unto itself.
Okay.
Okay? That's
Right.
how pharma does. When you take Advil, certain thing goes on. So they're taking a
Right.
particular chemical, hitting a particular receptor to get a particular reaction. You follow?
Okay.
We are taking systems of reactions, which each one of them have already been proven. And we're
Okay.
integrating those computations. So it's
Okay.
not like we're making anything up. These are equations, these are chemical reactions that have been proven for hundreds of years. The
Okay.
issue is interconnecting them together.
Okay.
Now, when we come up with a product, these are all natural compounds. When
Right.
someone takes it, either they're going to feel the effect or not. But with
Okay.
natural compounds, how else would you do it? You know how many animals you would have to kill?
Hmm.
Just think about this. Pharmaceutical company, they
Right.
do one compound for one
Right.
dosage, okay?
Right. Right.
One compound, one dosage. If you
Right.
do, and you have to kill so many animals. If you do one compound,
Right.
two dosages, you have to kill double the number of animals. If you do
Right.
one compound, three dosages, triple. That's only one
Right.
compound. What happens
Yes.
when you have to do two compounds?
Yeah.
That's six combinations of two, 6 factorial over 2 factorial. That's 6
Right.
times 5, 30
Yeah.
times 4, 120, 100.
Yeah.
You have to do 360 times as many animals. Now,
Right.
what happens when you're doing 6 compounds and multiple dosages? You're talking about trillions of animals you're going to kill. So there's
Right.
no other way to
Right.
find combinations besides what we're doing. So I think you're
Right.
asking the wrong question. The
Okay.
question is, how would you ever prove ancient systems of medicine? This is why pharma can say, oh, we can't do that. See, we have to kill lots of people. We're saying we actually have a solution.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
There's no other way to do this. This is why pharmaceutical companies say, oh, we can't do that. We can't prove that. We can't prove that. You can't prove that. What we're saying is we actually have come a way to prove that because we're looking at the actual chemical relationships.
Okay.
So, for example, if you take Advil, we can model that perfectly. And now, if you combine Advil with coffee,
right,
okay, we can model that perfectly. There's a very interesting set. We'll probably do that. We did that for the military. The soldiers were taking 6 different herbs, and we literally showed them how that would work, and it validated with the clinical outcomes they were seeing.
Okay.
So the point is, you need to ask the right question.
Okay.
You're comparing us to the old way of doing it. The right question is, how could we possibly?
Yes.
When my grandmother, if you look at curry powder, it's got 9 different combinations.
Right.
How are you going to do it the pharmaceutical way? You can't. So pharma says, oh, see, we can't do it our way, therefore forget it. We're saying, no, we created a completely different paradigm.
Okay.
Now the issue is you prove to us that what we're doing is not right. They can't, because they can only handle single compounds. So directionally, there's no other way to do it but the way that we figured out. There's no other way to do it. But our point is that these combinations of ingredients are at much lower dosages than taking one ingredient. So you're reducing toxicity, you say? And that's what we showed with our work with pancreatic cancer. So you have to change the paradigm and ask the question in a different way. How else would you prove? I mean, there are certain, we did this with Prabhakar, who's that company? Juice Plus, right? Juice Plus is 130 different phytochemicals. When you drink those green powders,
right?
How would you ever prove that it's working?
Right.
Pharmaceutical companies would say it's impossible. Well, we can take every compound, do all the combinations, and know which areas it's hitting and give a directional thing, and then look at what people have reported. You say that's what we did with the green tea example.
Mm-hmm.
There was evidence in the clinical lab showing that when people took green tea,
Right.
that it was resulting in less transplant rejection.
Right.
How would you show that at the mechanistic level without a technology like CytoSolve?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we published it. So what I'm saying is we have now published CytoSolve in like 20, 30 major journals. We've showed this is like a new instrumentation for predictive analytics, you say?
Okay.
So that's what you want to look at. So you follow what I'm saying? So if you look at our green tea paper, that was published in one of the big NIH journals because they were just seeing randomly people came into hospitals when they took green tea, they had much lower transplant rejection. We actually went in and showed mechanistically why. So people are observing. So what we're able to do is people say, oh yeah, I took green tea or I took turmeric, right?
Right.
It helped me, but why?
Okay. Okay. So what you're saying that like in the pharmaceutical models, you have certain kind of molecules and they do these statistics. In other words, you give it to...
No, they don't do statistics. They don't do statistics. Okay.
They don't?
No, what they do is they take a test tube. I think I've walked through this before. I don't want to waste time.
No. When you do the human trials, when you do the placebo and non-placebo...
Right. No, but what I'm saying is even before they go there,
right,
they take cells and they draw and they see something. Then they go to animal.
Right.
When they do the things with humans, right, they are only doing a single compound.
Right, I understand that. No, I understand that. Right, understand that. So in other words, right, so you do these testings, but you're saying that the CytoSolve is built on those results already. This is what you're saying, right?
No, what we're saying is we are taking chemical equations that are the multiple of chemical reactions, which we know are pieces of scientific truth.
It's based on previously done either lab experiments or in vitro.
Yeah, in vitro. So how do you know sodium plus chloride gives sodium chloride, Ari? Hello?
Yeah.
How do you know sodium plus chloride gives sodium chloride?
As you said, I guess it's an equation, as you say.
Yeah, that's previously
done. Previously been
people had to do experiments to understand that. So
we don't need to do that.
We don't need to go do that again.
Right.
Why do we need to go prove that again?
That's the point we're trying to make with CytoSolve.
Yeah, these things have already been done. So if you want to understand the relaxation, they're made up of chemical reactions, you see?
Right.
Each one of those are pieces of scientific truth. Our technology helps us organize those truths, interconnect them. So now we actually have the whole picture. It is a systems-based approach.
Right.
Each piece of it, if people want to disagree, we say, go read that paper. It's right there.
Right.
Go sodium plus chloride, go read this. It's been known for 120 years, right? Or whatever, right?
Right.
But this comes back to the central thing. Science does not give money or support grants to figure out the whole. They pay someone to figure out sodium plus sodium chloride because the sodium could be a pharmaceutical company compound. They just want to figure out one reaction going to this and you're done and you create a multi-billion-dollar drug. Okay?
Okay.
The entire incentive model is to know one or two reactions.
Yeah. No, thank you for your patience because, I need to explain this to people, right? So I have to really understand this myself.
Well, it's going to take you years. You might as well just bring them to a CytoSolve Symposium and they'll get it, okay?
Yeah, okay.
My point is we have a revolutionary, it's like how does an MRI machine work, right?
Right.
I could go to and how does a microwave work, right? Okay, it's sending a certain wave, it moves the dipoles, right? The issue is a microwave machine is very different than cooking, okay?
Right.
What we have created took us 16 years to do this. Now we've published it, we've shown it, right? If you want to get under the hood and understand it, well, we can go through a whole class on it, But the reality is that every piece of CytoSolve, we can point to that paper right there. Either that paper is wrong or it's correct, okay? And we're interconnecting those. And that's the power of what we're able to do. Because if you couldn't interconnect them, you wouldn't be able to make all these very particular predictions, you say?
That's the systems approach. And that applies not just
this is
science.
what the revolution took place in this way we keep saying 2003 was a revolution in science. It was as big as discovering the speed of light. It was saying that we need to take a systems approach in biology.
Mm-hmm.
Pharmaceutical companies don't take a systems approach. This plus this will give you this. Take Advil, will hit this thing, and it'll reduce COX-2. You're done. Forget that Advil's hitting a whole bunch of other reactions. You see?
Right.
They're just looking at one reaction. That's it. We're looking at the ensemble of reactions.
Right.
What I just walked you through with those, the little diagrams ultimately come out to individual chemical reactions.
Mm-hmm.
So we're taking physical chemistry, chemical engineering to another level. That's the revolution here.
Mm-hmm.
How does ChatGPT work? It's a bunch of pieces of linguistic pieces that we've aggregated together. You see, that's the technology.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, good questions. Okay, let's go to Yasmin Patel and then Julie Ellis, and then we'll have to wrap up. We're losing people because we need to make sure you guys also, step up to the plate and help us to do this. Go ahead, Julie Ellis, and go ahead, Yasmin Patel. Yasmin, can you unmute, please? Yasmin Patel. Hi, Yasmin. We can't hear you. Can you? Your mic is unmuted, but maybe your headphones or something. Hello.
Maybe we can take Julie while.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go, Julie. Yasmin, if you can hear us, you can also put it in the chat because we're not able to hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Shiva, for all that you're doing. I know for me, it's giving me hope. I've been dealing with chronic pain from what they call interstitial cystitis, which impacts my sleep and every aspect of my life. I've been taking your MV25 for the last couple of weeks and making some other changes from all of your other classes. And also, I was looking for your teas online and I don't see them. I know I spoke with Rebecca about it. She didn't see it either, but I didn't know if you were just.
Yeah, so they were online and then
they should be up now.
They should be back out. There were some graphics issues that we were fixing. They were a little bit blurry. That was the only thing. So they should be up online shortly.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I figure that probably now that the election, I think my focus was more on, making sure as many cards were getting out as possible. But a follow-up meeting probably would be more appropriate at this time.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Dr. Prabhakar will give you the link and we can do that.
Okay, thanks, doctor.
Yeah. Yasmin Patel, and let me, Prabhakar, while we're waiting on the so how can you guys help what we're doing? One is you can set up meetings as follow-ups, but let's just go back to the PowerPoint and we'll wrap up. I actually have to go vote myself. So yeah, the last piece, Prabhakar, how people can help.
All right, I'm bringing it up.
Yep. By the way, Kanara put out a message. He goes, congratulations on a well-fought campaign and raising the consciousness on Earth. Yep, it's our day. It's not just my day. So I just want to let everyone know, in the midst of Dr. Prabhakar and I and our team doing science, doing our systems health, we also ran a national campaign. And what's spectacular is we have amazing people globally. And the fact that we got on nearly every ballot, either with electors as a write-in or listed, as the first naturalized citizen, which has never happened since the founding of the United States. No one thought that you could do that, is extraordinary. So I just want to let people know that we, the people, need to open up to the infinite possibilities of what's possible. And I hope my journey, our movement's journey, inspires you to recognize we can do pretty much anything. But the mental thing is you have to unplug from them. Once you unplug from them, you can do a lot of things. But if you are still plugged into them, you're fucked, okay? Because you think they're going to offer you solutions. So everything we're doing is creating an environment where you can leave the plantation, stand up on your own 2 feet, and then look at these solutions we've created, which further help you stand up on your own 2 feet. So number one, how can you help us? Go to full screen. Number one, buy our products. If you want, sell our products, fund our research, become an affiliate. You can also use our technology to produce your own products. But everyone here, go join the movement for truth, freedom, health. You pay a few bucks, you're supporting yourself, but you're supporting us. Next. So just to get into the details, you can buy products like MV25. You can go to mv25.life. You can buy our pet products. You know, we don't produce a lot. We spend a time, and then we're having these teas come out where you can literally understand your body type. Someone asked for personalization, Ari. It lets you personalize these products for you. Which are the right teas for you? You get it, use one of the systems health educators. They'll help you figure out your particular body type. And then you can figure out which is a right tea for you. Next. And so pointing that out, many of you yourselves can become systems health educators. Dr. Prabhakar will put up the link to our next tutorial. But fundamentally, we are respecting ancient systems of medicine. This is really the fight against real racism, okay? Supporting these ancient indigenous medicines. Next. So you can support that. We want you to recognize that there is no need for animal testing with all the research that's already been done. And we want to bust up this incestuous web of science. You see, everything here is big government, big academia, big publishers, big pharma. Everything we do is small because we have CytoSolve. Next. And all of you can be part of this. Next. So go to CytoSolve Open Science Institute, vashiva.com, donate, support us, $1, $2. If you have lots of money, give us all your money, okay? But you can support us because it'll be well used. We do a lot with little. Next. And these are the different initiatives we have. Next. There's a relaxation initiative you can support. Next. And when you support us, we give you books, we give you courses, we give you things. Or you can go to the International Center for Integrative Systems. Prabhakar will put up that URL, which is our global center for research. And you can donate there. Next. Right there. You can also be an affiliate. We're going to be coming up with more and more products. If you want to say, hey, I love these products, I want to sell them, I want to create an entrepreneurial business, you can do that. You can refer our products. You can refer companies who want to use our services. Next. And if you do that, we give, compensation for that. We don't want you to be out of it if you're putting in your time. We have an entire affiliate application. If you go to vashiva.com, in the customer service section, you'll see you can apply to be an affiliate. Next. So we formalize that. Next. Product development. You can actually help build new products. We've told people all over the world, if you're seeing, wow, I've seen people in my local tribe or this community, they're doing this product and it works. I don't know why. Like the green tea example, we can figure out why and help to productize that along with you. Next. We've done this with many, many people. Next. If you want to follow up, go to the Calendly link. Go back to Prabhakar, and we can set up time to talk at more length. So to all the people who are interested in investment, put the email right to Dr. Prabhakar, and then you can directly reach out to him or go right to the Calendly link here. Next, and we'll do a group meeting. The simplest thing everyone can do is become a Truth, Freedom, Health warrior right now and get educated or be enslaved and come to our open house. But a lot of you can do that very simple thing next right away. Go to vashiva.com/orientation. Get others to join. Next. Every other Friday, we've created an entire business model where you too can become systems health educators. Catherine Suisse, who's a nurse, went through this program. We start with a free tutorial. And then if you want, we have a program which includes hundreds of hours of online courses, textbooks, a 3-day summit we do that you can literally get trained to be a systems health educator so you can go help the world using these tools. You can start your own educational practice. Next. Remember, it's about thinking, fighting, and healing. Next. We have these platforms. Next. And we've just conducted the talk on the molecular science of relaxation, but we did a lot more. Okay. Thank you. Let's go back to the video. So I want to thank everyone for attending. This video will be up on the CytoSolve site. You can share it with your friends. Based on popular demand, we decided to put it up there. But the takeaway is get involved. The medical solutions, the health solutions are only going to happen with a movement. Health is not going to come just being healthy. It's going to come with us building a bottoms-up movement. All right, Prabhakar, thank you. Prabhakar, I think you got everyone's, I'll let you sign off, Prabhakar, if you can get those people, if you can put out all the URLs, Prabhakar.
Yeah, I have been putting the URLs, and I think I have the names of people interested in investment. So,
yep.
And I have sent them the Calendly link, and we will take the next steps with them.
All right, everyone, if you haven't voted, go out and vote. Write in Dr. Shiva. Unplug, and let's replug into a different way of doing it. Take the plug out of their system, and let's go build this movement. Thank you. Be well. Thank you, Prabhakar.
Yeah. Hi, Yasmin. I'm not sure if you are unmuted. I mean, you're not muted. So you could send me your question. I'm sending you my email address in the chat. Thank you.